All right, what's up, GSB? We're live for the version 2 of the State of the League address, but this one's way better because we got Gish on with us this time. Me, Brent, and Gish gonna talk to you guys a little bit. The first one didn't have, I don't know, we had like 25 people watching, 30 people watching, but I had a number of people say that they couldn't watch it because of the video or the audio. So we were gonna just record, but then decided, what the hell, we're just gonna go live again and do this again. So we'll talk a little bit again about back in, where we've come from since we started this thing and where we see this thing going. But yeah, let's just jump in. So since season one, guys, we had over 90% retention rate in season one ish, which I will say, and I've told these guys, and I said it to the owners, and I said it on the last one, was a blessing and a curse for us because that was very insane numbers. So it kind of set us up for well, if you guys do worse than that, it's a failure. And we have done a little worse than that retention-wise this season, but we are not a failure at all because of the things that we have done behind the scenes to get us ready for season 3. So we're going to talk a little bit about those things. But coming from season 1, like we said, big-time retention rate in season 1. We grew to 16 owners, 16 teams, plus a full prospect league. Almost over 200 players in the league actively. Plus our big time partnerships and affiliations with companies like with Adobe and Printful and Shadow and
Definitely
and now
not
Nike.
Amazon.
Definitely not Amazon. We actually hate Amazon if you're watching this. But now our newest affiliation with Nike, we're doing a lot behind the scenes with them with getting new jerseys and new uniforms together for the owners. Going into season 3, there'll be all Nike, all jerseys and uniforms in game will be featured with Nike logos, and all merchandise will be shipped directly from Nike, so that you don't have to worry about quality or any of that stuff. It is going straight from them. We have our own custom team store from them, so big time on that end. Also, we're gonna go and take a look again at the website throughout or during this this little video here, but we have other things on the horizon that we've been working on. And trust me when I say that we're all frustrated by some of those things, that how long they've taken, and we all wish they would have been done sooner. But sometimes things are out of our control. And when we set out to start Gold Standard Basketball, we said that we wanted to do something different and better than anybody's ever done before. And with that comes a little bit of tribulation and trial, and it comes with some hardship. We have to hit some roadblocks, and I would just ask you guys to, the guys that are here, I first of all want to thank you guys for continuing to support, continuing to be active in our league, believing in what we're doing here. And then, I would just ask you guys going forward to let us fail a little bit and let us grow from and learn from those failures and those learning experiences, so that we can make this, really, really great, which we're doing daily behind the scenes. The big takeaway, and then I'll let these guys chat a little bit, but the big takeaway for us, and I told owners this, but I'll say it again, is we're going back to basics in season 3, getting back to our roots of why we started this thing, being, the greatest, an all-encompassing product with the gameplay and role play and content. We're getting back to that. Today alone, we posted three articles, so thank you to those writers for doing that. But we're getting back to that for sure, back to our roots. We're taking a complete audit of our league. From ownership to admin to players, and we're seeing what we have, who's active, who's wanting to continue to, build this thing with us, and then we're going to build back out from there. On the last stream, we didn't have a clear look at our numbers all the way yet, and I said that I was willing to drop down to 12 or 14 teams to get really active again and then build back out from there. The good news is I don't think we're going to have to do that. It looks like we have enough players to continue at the pro level with 16 teams. We will have a couple teams that we need to fill, but we're actively in process of doing that as well. But a lot of things to look forward to going into season 3. The store is actually uploading right now. We just talked to Nike, so that should be up very, very shortly for all your merchandise needs. And then the website actually propagated. Everybody should have that live on their end. Working on getting the stats up from season 2, and kind of doing all that, the back end work on that stuff. Prospects are actually live, so we'll look at that. But Gish is here. I want Gish to talk a little bit too, just about his role. He's obviously been taken over as a commissioner this season, done a great job. Kind of being more that front facing part of the league, and dealing with you guys on a daily basis. So just kind of wanted the commissioners address part of this. Give it over to Gish a little bit.
Yeah, I think you hit on some of the things that we struggled with a little bit in season two, just kind of falling off and content, and just some of the quickness that we got things up with in season one that made us so great. And I think we've seen kind of at the tail end of season two that both us as an admin team and you guys in the league have realized that's something that we've missed this season, and so we've taken a lot of steps as an admin team to get back to that for as we go into season three. Um, and I think I've always said this, whether it's someone in the league asking, an owner, anyone, I'll be the first one to tell you that we have things to improve on, and I want y'all to call us out. Um, if you see something that we're lacking or slacking on, talk to us. We want to hear from you guys. And I think that we have a lot of people in this league who do a great job of doing that. It helps us out. There's only six of us. There's only so many things that we're going to see, and so it really helps when we get feedback from you guys, ideas from you guys, things that we can move forward with.
Yeah, and it brings up a good point too. Is one of the big things of why we started Gold Standard Basketball. And you guys might not know this, but I've been a part of sim leagues for 7 years, calendar years now, which is in sim league years, it's like freaking 20 years. But I've been a part of sim leagues for 7 years, and been in a management role in sim leagues for about 5. And one thing that I did was I just sat back and listened to the community a lot in these leagues, and saw what they liked, what they didn't like, what they wanted. And one of the big reasons we started Gold Standard Basketball is because we saw enough discrepancy in a lot of these leagues that people didn't like, and we wanted to create a product that fit those needs, right? So one of the big things is this product will always be community driven. It'll never change. Like, admins have a role to facilitate that and to provide that experience, but the league itself is always going to be community driven. It's always going to be a role play server. It's always going to be, the more that you guys are involved, the more active that you guys are, the more stuff that you guys are putting out, the league's going to thrive. It cannot operate solely based on what the admin team is doing. Even I would even go as far as just ownership. Like, we have to help our owners out as well, because our owners are, right a step below our admin team, in the sense that they're trying to manage a 10-person locker room. We're trying to manage 180 plus people, right? But helping them out goes a long way too. And so that's number one, is that it will always be community driven, which means that your input and your feedback and your opinions are super valuable to us. We've made decisions solely based on the community. That's usually how we make decisions. If anybody doesn't know, most of the things that go on in this league are voted on by our ownership. We don't really make decisions on the admin side. We facilitate those decisions. We guide, we educate, but ultimately it's up to our community to make decisions of how this league is run. And I still think that's the best model that we could do. So continue to buy into that, continue to feed into that, and we reward that stuff, right? I've been able to pay out, and I'll tell people again, like, I've been able to pay out over $6,000 in league jobs to people that have helped us operate this league, while us admin team over here is sitting and barely taken anything. I haven't taken zero, right? These guys have got paid a little bit, but not as much as they nearly should for how much work they put in. And that's on me a little bit, but our goal up front, and they understood that going in, was that we wanted to take care of our community, and it was going to be community driven, and we would take care of ourselves later. So we're on that path. We want to get back to being on that path, but we're really proud to say, that we've been able to help a lot of people out by doing that too. So number one, always going to be community driven. Your feedback means a lot. Your opinion means a lot. We're always going to listen to you in that sense. A lot of the things that you guys see in the league are because of the feedback that you guys have given. So that's kind of my spiel on that. Like I said, we want to thank you guys for staying supportive and active, and we're getting back to what we were doing. Not a failure by any means, but when you see the things that are going to come out of the struggle that we had in season 2, it's going to be worth it. But thank you guys for that. Also, thank you to the guys who didn't. And the one thing that I'll say is, this league is not, and Brent will probably talk about this a little bit, but this league's not for everybody, right? It's something different. It's a different model than anybody's ever done before. The goal is the same, to provide this great experience, but the way we do it is different. We rely heavily on you guys and activity and stuff like that. So it's not for everybody, but the people that continue to trust the process and kind of stick with us and support us will greatly appreciate and enjoy what we're going to put out. So you guys can definitely ask questions in the chat. We're going to go through the website and then we'll take some questions at the end. Mitch, I see your question. I will definitely get to that in a second. But let's, Brent, are you here, Brent?
I'm here. Here.
Also, I'm going to have Brent talk. Brent doesn't have a webcam because he's lame, but we're going to have Brent talk. Brent's taken over kind of on the operation side, like day-to-day stuff. Gish is more the league facilitator with the commissioner duties and stuff. They kind of they do work in tandem a lot. So, but Brent is more the operations behind the scenes guys, handles game plans and all that stuff. He's taken a bigger role on for me because of how busy I've gotten and stuff. But Brent's doing a really, really good job on that side too. The league has not really missed a beat because of the effort that he's putting in. So I want to thank him too and give him an opportunity to talk about kind of his role and how he's more wanting to reach out more to you guys being newer in the sim community. So.
Yeah, for sure. And, I know it hasn't been perfect. We've certainly had a couple of issues, but I've already been going through talking to owners, talking to people in the loop, right? Getting player opinions, and we're putting in more checks and balances, and we're going to get this thing figured out, right? We're going to make sure that you don't have to worry about if your guy is in right or if, and we've made some big strides on that. We just got the new tool, which has opened up a lot of doors for us, a lot of cool things that are going to allow us to really maximize our time, right? And allow us to put our time into more of the cool stuff like GS3 TV and some of the other projects that we've got going on behind the scenes. But yeah, like Hawk was saying, I think a big part of I wouldn't even say what went wrong in season 2, right? Because there was a lot that went really well, and I think it would be a disservice to call it a failure. But I think moving forward, right? Like Hawk said, there were a lot of square peg and round holes situations with the fit. And we said this to the owners. We've said this, to a couple different groups now. If you heard the first address, this is not for everyone, and that's totally okay. Like, we are player driven, content driven. We want you to be engaged in this hobby because we know it's a hobby that does take time, right? And it takes effort from everyone, and we don't want anyone to feel like they're giving more effort than the next person, and that's falling on deaf ears or going to waste. So we're gonna be really mindful of putting everyone in a position where first and foremost they can have fun and they can stay engaged and they're doing stuff they like, whether that's writing content or calling games or doing nothing and just sitting back and watching, right? We're gonna get everyone in the place they need to be, and I think that's going to be really important for retention moving forward. Not only that, but for everyone having the best experience that they could, and that's the goal in this, right? We don't want to force anyone to do any sort of job or position that they don't want to do. So
yeah, for sure. So in a sense, it is for everybody, but it's not for everybody, right? It is for everybody as long as you're willing to put in. You're gonna get in what you put out, or you're gonna get out what you put in, right? Is the whole narrative there. So, yeah, continue doing that stuff. And some of those roles are also like Goshe just posts, like he posts a lot in there. He's active and he posts graphics of himself, and we got guys like villains like Jairus and stuff like that. Like those are really cool things, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a league job thing. It's just an activity thing. And when we started GSB, and this is still the goal, there's no reason that we can't do the things we still set out to do. We've hit a lot of roadblocks, but we've made headway with a lot of affiliations to open the door for a lot of sponsorship stuff. And there's no reason that, Brennan McGinty can't be sponsored by Mountain Dew or something one day, right? Like that's still a possibility that we want on the table, and we're still striving towards that. That'll never stop. So, but big things planned for sure. But I want to jump in and take a look at the website if you guys haven't seen it. More so just because that was on our last one and I want to review it again. But and then we'll take a little Q&A. So I'm going to get rid of this part. Yeah, there we go. So our website, and I don't know if you guys can actually, let me share. Sorry, guys. Let me share the website screen with you guys real quick in the booth. Then I'll jump out. Okay, cool. So our website, there we go. Our website is up. You guys should see it. It's the same. It's the same URL. Hasn't changed. We just switched sites to Basketball Shift, which is a much better website for us. It's already been proven to be way easier to input scores and articles and stuff like that. So it's a much cleaner look as well. But we'll take you through it a little bit. So on the homepage here, obviously, if you click on Watch Live on GS3 TV, it's going to go to GS3 TV, which is our new media channel, which right now we're simulcasting. We'll probably simulcast in the summer as well, or in the off season. But the goal, I think, Brent, right, is to go full GS3 TV by season 3.
Yep, all in. And I would encourage people. We're getting close to that 1 month mark where VODs are going to start going behind the GS3 TV Plus, which first off is just an amazing opportunity for us, right? Because you look back at all sorts of leagues, whether it be in the sim league community or in the greater scope, the NFL with the early Super Bowls, lost media is such a problem, and having this archive from middle of season 2 on is just going to be awesome for us.
Yeah, so there are a couple things on here that we're still testing and cleaning up and doing stuff, but a lot of them are very aesthetic. But yeah, GS3 TV is ready to go. I would get on there. And the reason, if you guys haven't seen this yet, GS3 TV, the reason we made the switch is because we felt, one, we wanted to create our own media network. Two, we wanted to give other sim leagues a opportunity to be part of a better community with their own media, like a media network that is focused towards sim sports. Also, it helps us more as a league, right? The sub amount is the same on here and Twitch, except on Twitch they take 80% of our sub, and with this it'll allow us to be able to put more money back into the league, more money to do the things that we want to do. So get over there and get switched to GS3 TV Plus. It's the same as the sub on Twitch, so if you're already on there, just make that switch. I think you said if somebody was already like tier 3 sub for like X amount or whatever, you would talk to them, right, Brent? So
yeah, absolutely. If there's any questions about switching, just hit me up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll make sure you're well rewarded.
For sure. So that's the big thing there for GS3 TV. Make sure you guys get over to that, but that'll take you right to it. Obviously, if you hit the Discord, it'll take you to our Discord. There's another GS3 TV banner. You could tell we're pushing it right now. But the other cool thing is just very clean with the news articles on here. I've uploaded 3 today. These 3 are new today. So make sure you guys go check out and read those. But it's a nice little ticker on there. It lets us attribute the article to the correct writer, which is very cool, and in cleaner look altogether. When the builder is up, we'll just be able to click here and it'll take us to the builder. When the store is up, you click here and it'll take you right to the store. We got to connect all these, but social media is there. If you're signed into Twitter, like I'm not right now, you will see our feed here. And then the really cool thing is the stats on here. So I'm actually going to, well, you guys can read about these too. What is GSB and the staff that we have here, and it's just a way cleaner look. And this is what the schedule will look like. Not that one, actually. There we go. The schedule will look like this as far as the season. It has league leaders database that are not, we're still uploading the stats right now, so you're not going to see it. I'll actually show the prospect one. So you can go prospects on there. You can go by team. And then when you go to the standings, it'll drop down the standings. League leaders, it'll show the stats at a very clean look. When we have headshots, I think the headshots Brent said will be on here as well. But very clean look as far as stats. It breaks it all down for you in a nice organized manner. There is a ticker on this. It'll be playoff stats as well. We don't have playoffs for prospects on there just yet. But then you can go into this full list mode like you guys are used to see that. There's a player database where you can search all the player names very easily. And I'll actually show the playoff schedule here. Here's the playoff thing I was talking about. You can just tab over. And then the brackets show up like this. And the really cool thing is you could go back to season 1 with just a click. And it goes back to the season 1. It has the other teams that used to be on there. The Jokers are there. Same with standings. So you can just click back to season 1. It's on season 1 right now. And you'll see the standings from season 1. The history is way easier to do. Stats are the same, right? Stats, you can go back to season 1 and see those as well when we get those up. But yeah, very easy to do. I'll show you guys a player page real quick on, well, here's a team page. So it's going to drop down the stats. That's a game page, sorry. The other cool thing is if you guys are nerds like Gish and me, you guys have printable stats too, and you can do some cool box scores. It also drops a summary in there with the stats, the leaders in the game. But what I wanted to do, let me see here. So if we go to a team, this is a team page, what it looks like. Get some stats there, full team stats. They're not up yet, like I said. The roster will drop down. This will look a little better once we have headshots in and stuff. But it's very clean. And then if you go to a player page, like I want to go to in here. Also, the team page is way cleaner too, Brent. This thing's sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we go into like a player page, this is kind of what the player page would look like. It's very bare right now, but it'd have a headshot on here. The bio that we have in there will be added. And then stats it'll break it down. When Angelo Roman goes pro, it'll have his pro stats differently calculated than his prospect stats. It'll show both there. You could also go to game logs and see what he did in each game, which is really cool. Makes stat stuff really easy. And then you can just drop down and pick his teammates. So really cool site, guys. Obviously, there's a news section that you can go right in and find all the news on there. But we're really excited about this. We're glad it's up. We're putting the finishing touches on it. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on and show what that site looked like real quick, and so you guys can see that. Mainly again because it was part of the last stream. Yeah, so let's get to some questions, and I'll probably if there are questions that Gish can answer, I'll let him answer, and if there's not, then I'll let Brent answer them. But first question on there was, how is GSFA going to work? Any more info you have about it coming out in 6 months still, Brent?
So where we're at right now, obviously we've been super focused on this project. So I'm not saying it's not coming out in 6 months, but there are certainly some administrative hurdles we still have to clear, right? We want to find strong ownership for those teams, not just, anybody. So we're still exploring that route. We do have a group of really, really talented guys from the FIFA community essentially on retainer. So we're ironing things down on the administrative side. We know you haven't heard much from us on that front, but we are doing a lot in the background to get that going. Like it's no walk in the park, the amount of administrative steps that really go into that. Not to mention, figuring out how the player system is going to work, doing the exploratory stuff on that front. So we are very much in the process there.
Yeah, in the process for sure. But I always said too, right, that GSB was going to be the focus until we got it stable, and it's still the focus until we get this thing stable, which we're working towards getting it back there and on the right path for sure. So, but GSFA will still happen. Hoping it still happens in the next 6 months, but if not, it will happen. Rest assured. So we're taking measures to make sure it's done right, not rushing anything. So that's been a big focus of our off season as well as just doing things the right way and taking our time and making sure that it's done correctly so we don't run into any issues. Yeah. I hope that answered your question, Mitch. Any other questions on here? What's up, DJ? Brett, do you remember any of the questions we had yesterday?
Not off the top of my head. I think I wrote them down somewhere. If you could give me a second.
Yeah, Gish, do you want to talk kind of about like what's going on behind the scenes right now with like you, commissioner, with the owners, and like what we're doing, kind of headed into the end of the season 2, going into season 3?
Yeah, yeah. So we are kind of starting our off season process. We actually put out uh, a vote for owners today, about when we will be moving uh, to 2K24 as a game. And then as we go throughout the offseason, we will have votes with both our owners and our player reps for offseason rule changes. We've already had some discussion among the owners about that. Um, just a couple of rule changes that either the league has brought up. We've had some that have come from players, and then the owners have some things that they brought up as well. I think last year we had votes on, I believe, 12 different rule changes, and so we have a pretty extensive offseason process for that. Um, moving to the website was part of this offseason process. That there's just a lot of things we're looking at, but and I can tie this to the question I see in the chat. Uh, that process, we have that all planned out, and so it's about 6 weeks in between the end of season 2 playoffs before we will hit the beginning of season 3. And during that time, we'll have some international games. I believe we have Olympic qualifying this off season.
Yep.
And so the games don't stop; they just change and are a little less formal, and that kind of gives us time to work out all of our off-season stuff. We'll go into obviously some free agency. We'll have the draft for players from the Prospect League, and so it's a big process, but we've got it all planned out, and we've actually already started doing this playoff time.
Yeah, we've mapped out our league for new guys. We've mapped out our league in 2 26-month segments, right? So we have 2 seasons every calendar year, and we've mapped it out perfectly that we are starting around the same exact date every year. The draft is around the same dates every year, right? The start dates of the seasons are about the same. So we started on March 13th last year with week 1. I think Monday is on March 12th this year, and that's what we're projected to start at for season 2 is March 12th. The draft will be a couple weeks before that, with given a week of likely preseason in between. But yeah, it's a big process in the off season. There's a lot, like we said, it's very community driven. So the owners go through a lot of voting, and they listen to your guys' feedback, and they give feedback, and we take the proper measures to vote on things and re-vote on things if there needs to be clarification. So that 6 weeks really gives us a really good opportunity to make sure we're doing things the right way. But like I said, the games don't stop. Last season we had a really successful FIBA tournament during it with like crazy amount of teams. In this offseason, we've mapped out basically 4-year cycles. So this offseason will be Olympic qualifying. Usually the way that works, if you're in here, is guys will declare for a country. And then once you declare for a country and make an appearance, you can't declare for another country unless we added one. Then we would probably make an exception. But so if you are not on or haven't declared for an international team, we'll drop a form very soon, so you guys can declare. We'll also drop like kind of what those international teams have looked like recently, so you can kind of make that decision too. So your player can be American still and then declare for another country. We've allowed that to kind of give a little better look, since we're not quite internationally pushed yet. We do have quite a few international guys, but not enough to fill a whole schedule. So
Sure.
Can prospects who stay with the team still progress next season, Gish?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had a couple of guys who are in the Prospect League this season who are also in our Prospect League in season 1. We don't expect to have enough open spots in the Pro League for everybody in the Prospect League to get drafted. So absolutely, if you either don't get drafted or decide that you want to stay in the Prospect League for a second year, absolutely. The progression stays the same.
Yeah.
You get the same number of points. You get to improve just like the players in the Pro League, and then prep to move to the Pro League for season 4.
Yeah, and our model is very linear in the sense that when you come into the league, it's the same process throughout your entire career. It just changes based on your overall, and you get a new tier and you get less progression points. But other than that, it's the same process throughout your entire career. So last year we had quite a few opening or people stay, not get drafted or declare back. This year, it looks like most will get drafted. We'll be right on it. We have to take a better look at our numbers and say, okay, how many prospects will we might have available? But yeah, so this year might be that 1 year kind of where we're getting back stable and everybody gets drafted, and that's just what it is. But in the future, that would be the case for sure. Yeah. Rayman said, are we going to up the points if we move to 24? Not really. Are you talking about how many you get? Probably not, because 24 is literally almost the same game. So one of the reasons that we would go to 24 was we're testing the play calling right now, to be completely transparent with it. We're testing the play calling to see if that is improving in 2K24, which is the big draw for us to move to it. But system-wise, we've already looked at it. Gish and I and Brent looked at it today, and it's pretty much the same exact game, Gish, right? I mean, like, everything translates over. Pretty much the same badges, attributes, tendencies are all the same values in there. The way the game translates it is a little different, but in terms of overall, but the number values are the same.
Yeah. The because it stayed not on next gen for PC.
Current
Attributes and badges are the same. Yeah, we do have we have had some concerns, some very valid concerns from owners about, will players play differently? Will different tendencies be affected? And that's where we want to make sure we take our time and let our owners have or let our owners be comfortable with that change.
Yeah, for sure. So that's up for vote right now, so you guys know, as we're actively in a vote for moving to 24 this season or next season. Later we will move to it in season 4 because of the fixes that we believe that it does. Plus, I think it's a smoother game overall. But the vote right now is to move to it for next season. What about being able to get more badges? At this point, no. We'll still keep the 36 cap, but obviously you're in the owner's chat. If that's something you want to talk about and discuss, then we could definitely do that. And we can, look at the advantages and disadvantages. That's one of the great parts about this, right? And Rayman's asking these questions a lot of reason because you guys don't have the inside scoop to the owner's chats, right? So being able to discuss it with you guys is important too. So I appreciate him for asking those in here for sure. But the process in the owner's chat is if Rayman said I want to look into getting more badges and upping the cap, then we talk about it in owner's chat and we say, okay, why is this advantageous for you guys? What's the advantages, disadvantages? Okay, if it's something we feel like we need to vote on, let's do it, and then we'll vote on it. So, but kind of the process. But yeah, I mean, things are full go right now. I woke up very motivated today, and the last few days we've really been getting after it. We sent a couple owners their mock-ups of their Nike jerseys, very beginnings of them. So we're excited about that stuff as well. But anything else you guys have in chat Q&A wise? Brent, you got anything else to say over there while we're I kind of forgot about you since you're not on camera.
I would say check what I sent you in here, but I'll just talk about it. Big thing right now is there are quite a few people, both monthly and with your
Yes.
seasonals coming up. Now is the time to switch to WAP, and it's not super difficult at all. If you had a monthly before on Stripe, that is canceled effective today.
Yep.
So it is time to switch over. Otherwise, you will lose your sub. And if you're on seasonal, not a big deal. Like I said, just message me. We'll even get you prorated refund on the rest up until your next sub. If you want to go ahead and switch now, just take care of it. So
Yeah.
if you want, you could even run through that process with them real quick. Show them how easy it is.
Yeah,
I'll message you a promo code that makes it free, so you can go through the whole process.
Do you actually have? Do you want to do it, and I could just screen share yours while you do it?
Yeah, let's do that.
So share your screen in Discord with me, and then I'll just share it and then capture it.
Yeah.
But important, while he does that, guys, really important that you switch over, because once that system is in place, it's directly tied to your progression. You're going to get a role. The system is going to give you a role. Okay, so what it's going to do is when you sign up in this, I need to go full screen here. When you sign up in this, it's going to give you a role, okay, that says that you're signed up with WAP and that you're an active GSB user. Okay, that role goes away when your sub is not active. Okay, and what that does is directly tied to our builder and our progression. That role tells our builder to give you the appropriate progression points each week. If you do not have that role because you don't have an active sub, then it will not give you progression points that week. Okay, and there's nothing we can actually really do about it, right? Week to week. So make sure that you guys switch over and do that. It has a PayPal option. It has a credit card option, so the best of both worlds, right? I know the Stripe move was like, some people were like, I like PayPal better. Now you have both options. So completely, it's all inclusive there. So go ahead, Brent, and we'll
Yeah, let's go ahead and see here. So the subscribe to GSB channel has everything you need. Step one, just going to want to go to WAP. You're going to want to sign up. It's going to give you a nice, easy Discord login option. So that'll be super easy. You'll get an account up there. You're going to want to go to our specific link, right? And then you can pick between different payment options. We got some reviews down here too. And I was going to say, if you guys are enjoying your time here, please leave a review.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Right, that really helps. So yeah, you're going to get your different options for subscription. So you want to go ahead and press subscribe, whatever tier you
Brent's
want.
a big spender with the $100 a year thing there.
Like he said, either option. So I'm actually going to turn off my share for a second because I'm going to make a promo code to make it free.
Okay.
Don't want anyone to steal it while I'm in there.
Okay, well, I'll just go back to me and Gish for a second here. Nope. Yep. So yeah, I mean, while Brent's doing that, again, very important. But this is part of us getting very organized in our systems and putting the right systems in place in GSB to make it easier on you guys, but also make it easier on us. When we have systems in place and we have the right things in place, less error happens for us, and that's good for you guys, right? The error is not good for anybody. So when we have really good systems in place, we're able to limit that human error and able to provide a better experience.
Yeah, you're spot on with that. Let me know when I'm back on here.
You're on.
All right, so you're going to want to enter, whichever.
If you have one.
Yep, whichever.
Most people won't, but if we're giving out, that's
Right.
how you would do it. Anyway,
Right, but
usually you'll just pick your PayPal or your card info, put it
Yep.
in, and then this is
so
what
if
happens.
you're saying you want to do it this way, sure. I'm going to move that off so you can't see it there.
And nobody go in and use Brent Test promo code.
Yeah, let me move that off so I can actually enter a card. I don't
Dang
trust
it, Brent.
I don't trust RV.
Everybody's gonna go on and use Brent Test now for their sub. Get 100% off.
No, all right. So you're gonna want to go ahead, enter your details. Take you through super easy, way easier than I made it look. Right, I did it the hard way. It's gonna redirect you to a page that we don't have set up
Just
on
the
here
builder,
yet.
right?
Yeah. So it'll redirect you everywhere you need to go. You'll get a nice confirmation email, and then you can go ahead and double check at the other link I provided that you have that connected. And then from there, if you look up yourself.
You have a role.
Oh, wait, I'm right there. It will give you that role.
Subscriber role.
Yeah.
So that's the role that we were saying, right? Is directly tied to our builder. If you don't have that role, then it won't give you progression points.
Exactly. And then from here, this makes it super easy, right? Because you can go in and manage your subscriptions right through here. And if you ever don't, if it didn't give you your role, you can go right in here to grab it. You can manage your membership super easily.
Change the monthly, you can change the seasonal.
You can even transfer it, which I did not know was a thing. So if you want to,
that's interesting. I don't know.
Get a membership for someone else. You can cancel, view your billing history, update your payment method, and of course, please leave us a review.
Brent just left a review. Okay. No, I didn't. All right, cool. So that's easy, guys. So get over to WAP if you haven't yet. We've got quite a few on there, but there's still some that haven't. So get over there if you haven't. That will be the new process for new players coming in. So, yeah. So I'm going to stop watching your thing if you want to stop streaming there.
Oh yeah.
It looks like we do have a question in the chat for you, Brent. The seasonal ends at the end of pro playoffs. Is that correct?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on when you signed up, right? And if you're not sure,
seasonal
just
means
shoot
6
me a
months.
message. Yep. So it
seasonal,
all depends on.
It's just another word, right? It's not. If you signed up 3 months into the season, and you did seasonal, you would get it for 6 months.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, if you are not sure, message me. I can help you figure it out.
For sure. Well, I think that's all I got. Guess you got anything else that you want to tell them headed into season 3 from the commissioner?
Other than, if you have feedback or questions or whatever, my DMs are always open.
Yeah.
Feel free to ping me in general chat. I know there's plenty of you who enjoy doing that just for fun. That is just fine with me. So yeah, just reach out, let us know.
Yep, you can do that. We have a ticket system. All of our admins see the ticket system. You can even ping us in the ticket system if you want to get specifically. Brent has his own ticket system because he's weird, and more of like the operational system side of things, so you can reach him directly through his. But use that ticket system. We respond very quickly to it, and it keeps things very organized because all of us get a lot of messages from people, and I guarantee your messages will get lost if you send them to me, because I also use Discord for a lot of my agency stuff, so I have like a million messages every single day. So
yeah, me too. That's why I got my own ticket system, right? I promise you won't get lost in my DMs, and I won't forget you.
For sure.
Like I have been known to do. I'm making it right.
For sure.
I'm making it right.
Well, cool. Well, game 2 tonight. Both game 2s tonight. Michigan and Oakland, and Seattle Portland game 2, so don't want to miss those both. Possible game 3s will be tomorrow, Brent, I believe. So definitely tune in for that. And then finals next week-ish. So we're right at the end of season 3 or season 2. We won't play Monday likely on New Year's Day, so we'll have the same schedule as we did this week with going Tuesday.
We're actually we're tipping at 11:59 on
New Year's
December
Eve.
3rd. Yeah, we're gonna have a New Year's Eve finals game.
Yeah, for sure.
It actually would be pretty cool. Might have to look into that.
Be all wasted on screen. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, our commentators are in the booth. I don't know. Gamers has been known to.
We'll get our underage. We'll get our under 21 game announcers on that one. All good. So yeah, next week is the pro playoffs, and then we'll take about a week off from games while we get off season set up and stuff, and then we'll jump into FIBA stuff for the off season, and we'll be rolling from there. But just wanted to hop on again and tell you guys where we've come, how far we've come. Like I said, we are still less than a year old actually, as a league total. We've been doing a little over, but when the league launched, we are less than a year old, and the things that we have accomplished in less than a year are things that have taken other leagues multiple years to do. So we're on the right path. We're doing well, and we are going to conquer the roadblocks that we've hit this year and be way better next year. And I can't wait to experience that and celebrate that with you guys and give you guys the greatest product that we can. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. If there's no volume on the VOD, I have it recorded, so I'm going to upload the recording to YouTube in case that fails. YouTube will have sound, so I'm doing this better this time. See, I'm already making changes. So
no, your voice is actually just copyright. Yeah. I trademarked it a couple weeks ago.
You did? That's actually nice. That's nice. I like that.
I own the rights to your voice now.
I like that. So get in, guys, and get active with the league. Participate, like jump in and just be active in the chat. Like jump in every day, say what's up. If you want to develop a persona, do that. Cool. If not, totally cool. We'd love to hear from you. Get involved with things like Fight Night too, right? Like people are doing really cool activities around the league. Definitely get involved with those things. We're planning on more activities like that, so definitely get involved with that stuff, and it'll help your experience here tremendously. We have all these things available to you for the low price that we offer them at, right? And that was the other big goal, is like offer this great product for the lowest price that we can, and we're doing that still. and just get involved more and jump into those things so that your experience here is really really good.
Yeah.
Hey, and I was just gonna say real quick, like we talked about earlier, find your thing, and if your thing isn't here yet, come to us.
Yeah, we'll make
And
it happen.
we will empower you to find the thing that makes you have fun here.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, there are so many different ways you can be involved. And if you've thought of a way we haven't, we probably should have, right? And we want to add that. So,
For sure.
Should talk about GSB3. What's GSB3?
we're launching a third GSB? We don't even
I
have a
don't know
second
what that,
yet.
I don't know what that is.
That like the Krusty Krab too?
This is Rain Man's idea. It's new. You just told him where you empower him, so I'll give him a second to actually clarify what it is. But
During that time, I will throw out there, if you haven't already, vote for our community awards. We've got 4 awards up for the community to vote on. We've got the Pizzo Person of the Year award, the Villain of the Year, the Commentator of the Year, and the Content Creator of the Year. Everybody who's up for those awards are some of the best members of this community, and we just want the opportunity to recognize them. And we've got a lot of responses already, but we'd love for everybody in the community to vote for those awards and just shout out those people.
yeah, for sure, definitely vote. That's all part of this too. Is we give you guys a voice on a lot of things, and we give you guys free reign to vote on these things. So definitely take advantage of that. Rayman wants us to talk more about GS3 TV. I don't know if you were in here when we talked about it, but obviously, yeah, we're simulcasting right now on GS3 TV with Twitch. Next season, we will go exclusively to GS3 TV. We talked about getting the subs over there. The advantage of that, and having our own network is a really big deal because we are the first sim league to actually have our own network as well. So we are pioneers in a lot of spaces right now. The affiliation with Nike is a first in sim league history. Having our own media network is a first in sim league history. We've done a lot of really, really great things that we're excited about moving forward with those. But if you guys haven't been watching on GS3 TV and you've been watching on Twitch on games, head over there during the games and definitely check it out so you can kind of see what we're talking about and make an account over there and get active over there because, Season 3 Twitch will no longer exist with our games, most likely. So, get over there and check it out.
Well, and a big thing talking about the future with that is we're hoping to have apps up next year, which will make it even better.
Mobile apps are in process of being created and approved. It takes a really long time for Apple and Google to approve those apps, but we're in process of doing that as well to make the experience better. And like we said, we'll open it to other sim leagues in the future to have their league on GS3 TV. There's going to be a lot of advantages with advertising and focused advertising on providing businesses an opportunity to market their products to the ideal audience and stuff like that as well. So definitely glad you mentioned it. We'll check that out more. But if you guys don't have anything else, we'll jump off and we'll get Brent a little bit of time to get the games ready for tonight. But appreciate you guys jumping on, Gish, Brent. Appreciate you guys jumping on and being here. And we're excited about Season 3, guys. We really are. Season 2 is not a failure. We just put in a lot of leg work and behind-the-scene work that doesn't always show up in the box score, so to speak. So Season 2 was the offensive lineman of sim leagues. So we did a lot of that work in Season 2, and we're gonna see the touchdowns in Season 3 for sure. All right, guys. We'll talk soon. See ya.